The news landed like a shockwave, a move nobody saw coming, a moment that even Russia couldn't predict. Ukraine has retaken a key stronghold the Kremlin once insisted was untouchable, a position Moscow believed was locked down with layers of defenses, constant surveillance, and overwhelming firepower. Yet somehow, against all odds, that fortress has fallen back into Ukrainian hands. And inside Moscow, the reaction is anything but calm. What happened here isn't just a military setback, it's a symbolic hit, a strategic embarrassment, and a moment that has pushed the Kremlin into what many analysts are now calling panic road. This wasn't just any position. It was a launch pad, a defensive shield, and a bragging point that Russia repeatedly used to shape its narrative to the world. Losing it quickly and unexpectedly raises questions Moscow never wanted to face. And here's where things get even more interesting. Behind this victory are details that most headlines skip over. Quiet intelligence work, sabotage missions carried out in the dark, technology that turned outdated defenses into open doors, and internal failures inside the Russian military that helped accelerate the collapse. These lesser-known elements reshaped the entire battle, and today we're breaking them down. If you're wondering how Ukraine pulled this off, why Russian units reacted so poorly, and what this means for the future of the war, stay with me. In this video, we walk through everything, step by step. First, you'll see how Ukraine planned the counterattack in a way that confused Russian surveillance and slipped past early detection. You'll learn how drones and electronic warfare exposed blind spots Russia didn't even realize it had. Then, we'll take a look inside Russia's own command system, the delays, disagreements, and internal tensions that played a major role in how fast the stronghold fell. Rival generals have been competing for political survival, and those fractures mattered more than Moscow wants to admit. We'll also break down how the retreat unfolded and why it happened at lightning speed. Some Russian units withdrew without orders, others ran out of ammunition, some tried to regroup, only to discover their communications network had already collapsed. This wasn't just a battlefield failure, it was a systemic one. Then comes the part most people never hear about, the Kremlin's private reaction. State TV tried to spin it, but sources inside Moscow paint a completely different picture. Anger at generals, fear of public backlash, and panic over whether this loss could trigger more Ukrainian advances. And finally, we'll talk about what this means for Ukraine moving forward. Retaking this stronghold doesn't just give Ukraine a better defensive position. It gives them control of supply lines, better vantage points, and new opportunities to shape the battlefield. If they can hold this area, the momentum could shift again. Why should you watch until the end? Because understanding this moment takes more than a headline. It requires following the chain of decisions, mistakes, tactics, and opportunities that led to this turning point. This wasn't just a win, it was a signal, a sign of what may be coming next. You'll walk away with a clear picture of why the stronghold mattered, why Russia is scrambling, and how Ukraine's strategy is evolving in ways even major powers didn't anticipate. This is a story of intelligence, speed, miscalculation, and shifting momentum. That's why analysts across Europe and the US are watching this moment so closely. So settle in, because what happened here could change far more than a single battle line. It could influence negotiations, planning, public opinion, and even how future operations are designed. Welcome to Truth and Justice Diaries, your channel for clear analysis, deep context, and the stories mainstream outlets often overlook. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an update. The stronghold at the center of this story wasn't just a dot on a map. It sat on a vital network of supply routes that fed Russian units across the region. It gave Moscow a stable base for launching attacks, rotating troops, and coordinating strikes. Holding it allowed Russia to claim their defensive line was solid, even when battles elsewhere told another story. For months, Russia built up this position: trenches, bunkers, radar systems, drone pads, reinforced checkpoints. They believed the stronghold was not just strong, but virtually unbreakable. Its value ran deeper. It shaped the narrative Russia wanted the world to believe: steady progress, stable control, an unmovable front line. Losing it shattered that image. For Ukraine, retaking it wasn't just about land. It was about removing a threat, reclaiming initiative, and proving that Russia's untouchable positions could be taken. Ukraine's operations started quietly. Weeks of reconnaissance, mapping weaknesses, tracking patrols, identifying blind spots. Intelligence teams, drones, and special units pieced together every detail needed for a precision strike. When the attack began, it was fast, coordinated, and devastatingly effective. Communications went down, surveillance collapsed, Russian forces were hit from multiple directions before they understood what was happening. Defenses built over months crumbled in hours. Retreats turned chaotic, radios failed, orders never arrived, units moved in different directions with no coordination. Tanks were left running, artillery abandoned, supplies untouched. The scene revealed a military caught completely off guard. Inside the Kremlin, the atmosphere turned tense, even panicked. High-level meetings were called immediately. Fingers pointed in every direction. Military commanders blamed shortages, political leaders blamed generals. No one wanted ownership of the failure. The fall of the stronghold hit Russia's narrative harder than any weapon. For Ukraine, it delivered momentum, real momentum. Morale grew, confidence rose, and international partners took notice. Strategically, the position opens supply routes, vantage points, and launch pads for future operations. It forces Russia into difficult decisions: counterattack, reinforce, or fall back, each option risky, each with a political price. This moment is bigger than a single victory. It reveals weaknesses in Russia's military strategy and shows that with intelligence, timing, and agility, Ukraine can still shift the course of the war. If you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed to Truth and Justice Diaries. This story is moving fast, and the next chapters may be even more consequential.